Can everyone hear me? Thank you so much, Christina. Lovely. Thank you guys so much. I'm tightening the mic. How are we feeling? Lovely. Blaine is here. Monique is here. Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. Blaine says, just the mermaid, looking phenom. Thank you, baby. Alyssa says, hey, Jess. Hi, guys. Checking in from Denver. Hospital epilepsy unit. I hope you feel better, babe. What happened? Yeah, if you can you go ahead and hit the thumbs up button before we get started? We have about 170 people in here right now, 188. Okay, Alyssa says she's getting answers. Okay, fingers crossed. Good. I'm glad. I hope that you, if you're looking for answers, you're going to get it. This full moon is definitely going to light up answers for a lot of people. I don't like this light on me right now. There we go. Way better. Okay, Sarah says, hello, Jess. I'm listening to you in Anderson, Missouri. Thank you guys so much. There's 220 people here. Where are we all tuning in from? I would love to know. Where's your city and your state? Becky Bullet says, I'm watching from Wales, UK. Love that. Ebony says, this full moon is intense for me so far. I told you. This is not an easy one. El Paso, Asheville, North Carolina, Panama City Beach, Louisville, Kentucky, Joplin, Missouri, Denver, Colorado, Melbourne, Northern Virginia, Philadelphia's in the house. Love that. Someone's from ATL. I love that. Jacksonville, Florida. Dallas, Texas. I don't know why I can't read today. Dallas, a lot of Dallas in here. Arizona, Kansas City, Missouri. Okay. Atlanta, Georgia, Tampa, Barbados. Okay, yeah. Rebecca says, I love the tropical vibe from wintry cold Holland, the Netherlands. Well, thank you so much for tuning in from the Netherlands. That's amazing. Dover, New Hampshire, the UK, Boston, Mass, Trinidad. How is Trinidad right now? Guys, I'm supposed to be in Dominican Republic. Philly, England, Cambridge, Washington State, Louisiana. Love that. We have a smaller group today, which works for me. Let me go ahead and turn this volume down just a little bit. We have so much to talk about, you guys. Welcome back for another Astro Chat Live. If we're meeting for the first time, my name is Jessica Alexandria. I go live every Monday, usually. And we talk about the transits so that you guys can be prepared for what's happening and what's going on. I also believe that if you understand the planets, you can make them work for you and not against you. And the best way to understand the planets is by diving in, or the best way to understand the energies is by diving into the planets and see what's happening. And that's exactly what it is that we do every day. Every week we come on here and we break it all down for you. Okay. Christiana says, can you believe it's December already? I don't know where the year went. Girl, time flies when you're having fun, as they say. Sweet Trippy says, I'm a dolphin mommy. Yeah, I've been vibing with dolphins lately, and also mermaids. Gregory says, people are really testing me heading into this full moon. Not gonna lie, I truly am ready to learn how to make this energy work for me. I will tell you, I will reveal all. Like I said last week, you guys, this energy is not easy to work with. It's really, really tense in the skies right now. It's been tense all year. It's been tense for the last 2 years, but we're really just going to be feeling it in our personal lives. And I'm going to give you the breakdown on how to work with these energies, of course, because that's why you're here. Okay. Um, are we looking forward to the full moon? I just would like to know a general gist. Can you tell me your sun and your rising sign, and how you are feeling about this upcoming full moon? What is the vibe for you right now? You don't need to necessarily know how this full moon is going to impact you. I'm curious to just know and feel and hear how you're feeling about the moon in general. I'm going to adjust some things around just because I'm a little picky right now, and I want this flower right here. Boop, there we go. See, that's a vibe, and it's out of my way. Okay, Scorpio. Yeah, Cinnamon says, Scorpio, Gemini, no fucking idea. So does that mean that you're open to the energies? What is it? Alicia says Taurus, Sun, Virgo, rising. I want to know how you guys are feeling about the full moon. Are you excited? Are you expecting something good? What is your general vibe? I want to know your sun and your rising sign. Felicia says, "Hey Jess, what the fuck has been going on? This energy has been so fucked up. When is it going to change?" Well, if you're asking when is it going to change, we're in the midst of incredible change. That's why it feels a little fucked up right now, to be completely honest. And it's going to carry on into the new year, but we're going to feel it really, really intensely this week. So if you're waiting for things to kind of like lighten off a little more, they will, but they're not going to completely taper off until, well, I don't want to make it doom and gloom, but not until like around 2 years from now. But the intensity of this week and the intensity of last week is going to start to dissipate after the full moon. I promise. It will trigger up some things that you're going to have to go into, like your action plan, your game plan, some things that are inevitable that you're going to have to deal with anyways. So just go ahead and mentally, emotionally prepare yourself for this. But I'm really interested in hearing how you guys feel so far. Let me go ahead and catch up on some of these comments. Okay, Trina D says, Cap, Sun, Leo, rising. I'm feeling optimistic about the full moon, and I'll be calling in balance in all areas of life and the ability to maintain all I've manifested. And she's a Cap, Sun, and a Leo rising. Okay, sorry guys, I'm visualizing this in my head. I'm feeling optimistic about the full moon, and I'll be calling in balance in all areas of my life and the ability to maintain. Okay. Love that. Tanisha says, Libra, Sun, and Taurus moon. I'm in and out of aggression, but I'm welcoming whatever lessons are coming because I know they are. That makes a lot of sense. Thank you so much for sharing that. Wait a minute. The wise hippie says, I'm hoping for a second job and to pass my state real estate exam. Can you give me your sun and your rising sign? The wise hippie. Okay, left-handed lady says, Sun, Cancer Sun, Gemini rising, how I feel about the moon. I want to move into my purpose. It's just getting started. Yes, I love that optimism and that persistence. Okay, let me check on some of these comments really quick. Kimberly says, Gemini Sun and Libra rising. I've been having headaches like crazy. Gemini Sun and Libra rising. Okay. I've been having headaches like crazy, and my kids are a mess. Two of my kids are Gemini Sun, and the other is Pisces. Yeah, Gemini energy right now is doing the best they can with what they got, but what they got ain't a whole lot. A lot going on with Geminis right now. The Gemini energy is getting slammed. But okay. Maddie D. La Luna, Sagittarius Sun, Pisces rising. I want to get into my career and purpose. I feel something big coming on. Yes, my birthday is on the full moon. Yes, you are right on the money with that. It is going to be fucking huge. Part of my French. This is going to be your solar return. Is going to be huge. Absolutely, without a doubt. Unprecedented changes in your life. Big time. I don't like using the word unprecedented, but here we are. Gregory says, Taurus Sun, Cancer rising. I'm feeling pressure in relation to my career and the drive to really expand in a huge way, but also in my fields, especially emotionally, especially relationships. Might just be the holiday though. That makes a lot of sense. Let me just read your sun and your rising. Damn it, I just lost it. Okay, Taurus Sun, Cancer. Yeah, Cancer rising, man. I'm Cancer rising too. We're in our feelings. My boyfriend actually just said that earlier. He said, I'm always emotional, and it's true, I am. Okay. A. Michelle says, since following you, my life has done a total 180. Looking forward to the full moon, Leo Sun, Scorpio moon, Pisces rising. I hope it's a good thing. I hope it's all been good. Okay. You know what, guys. I totally forgot that I got a Yeti microphone. and I don't need to scream. I can't stand. I actually don't you typically like talking unless I have to. Um, and when I do talk, I don't like screaming, and that's why I got this Yeti mic. So I just get so excited and I start screaming. So I just shout out to myself for reminding myself. Okay, Crystal says Cancer Sun. See what I'm telling you? Cancers and Geminis right now, and Libras. Cancer Sun, Scorpio Moon, Libra Rise. See, Libra rising. I told you, emotional as fuck. Thankful for the releases though. I feel that. Okay, just a few more comments, and then I'm going to dive into the rules for Astro Chat Live. Kelsey says Pisces Sun. Oh, guys, feel free to go ahead and share this chat with your buddies on social media or TikTok or whatever. I'm aging myself. Okay, hold on. Let me catch this. Okay, Kelsey says Pisces Sun, Taurus rising. I like to say tourist. Taurus rising. I'm feeling a big change come, and Taurus in general. Yo, Taurus. Okay, and I feel like it's been happening for this whole astrological year, but I feel like it's really coming to a head. Taurus rising, Pisces Sun. Let me just look at the chart real quickly. Yep. Yep, to say the least. You're in there. You are in there. Okay. Okay, hold on. There's a comment that just came through. Shout out to the moderators for moving so expeditiously with these comments and approving them. You guys are absolutely phenomenal. Okay, hold on. Destiny said, fuck. Alyssa says, Jess, you're glittery. Sorry, I just noticed. Yes, I am glittery. I'm buku glittery today. I think I link my glitter that I use in my Amazon chart or my Amazon not wish list, but my Amazon shop. Okay, one last one. Monique, Scorpio Sun, a lot of Scorpios. Scorpio Sun, Capricorn rising, feeling calm, curious, but having conflicting emotions about my identity and making decisions. Interesting. I'm going to write that down because I want to do some research on that. Scorpio Sun, Capricorn rising, issues with identity, calm, an overall sense of calm, but also conflicting emotions about identity. What do you mean by that? I am very curious about that one. I'm very curious about that. Feel free to send me an email at info@bahati.life. Just if you want to pour your heart out, I'm here. I'll give you some advice, of course, if I can, but also I am going to be doing a little bit of research and using you as my bit of a guinea pig and helping to understand. If that's okay. If not, you do not have to send me an email. All right. Okay, guys. So Christiana says, Jess, the sickness you've been talking about is going around. I work in PCY, and there have been so many COVID cases and cases of long COVID that last for months and just sickness here. I told you, and it's just been bananas. I could see it. I could feel it. They were talking about gastrointestinal type of stuff was coming through. It was just super weird lately with what's been coming through, and my intuition with those vibes. I'm not a big fan. You guys know I don't like upset tummies or anything like that. I try my best to make sure that I don't ever have issues like that. Yeah. Emily says, oh my God, yep, I'm a teacher and we can't keep kids or teachers in school. That's what I'm talking about. So for those of you guys that don't know, last week during Astro Chat Live, one of the messages, like the main messages and feelings that I was getting was about a lot of like illnesses. If there's a cold, something about the cold makes it gastrointestinal and just makes things like really weird. And also like things at just being like extra long and extra aggressive and just washing your hands. I know that sounds so obvious because we're in that season of the flu season and cold, but there's something about if spirit is mentioning this, there's something about it that's unique, or there's something about it specifically that can impact someone here, and I wanted to address that. Nikki says, I've been making and drinking a lot of the fire cider, yes, to keep my immune system in check. Yeah, we were literally talking like Herrera says, the turmeric, ginger, or oregano oil solutions. She said that it helped, or they said that it helped. That's exactly what we were talking about last week during Astro Chat Live is a blend of orange or lemon, turmeric, ginger, pepper, and I think that's it. I think that's all that was in there. And it will help. It will help. This is something that you take every day to make sure that your body is has enough resilience and can fight. Or if it's not combating against like a vitamin deficiency, and helping your immunity, then it can also work with sacral or solar plexus energies and also root chakra. All right, guys, it's time for us to dive into Astro Chat Live. I'm going to go live on Instagram for just a second. Actually, no, I'm not. My phone is about to die. It's going to play me in front of all of my friends. So I was going to go live on Instagram, but I didn't realize that my battery's about to die. But oops, 717 on the clock. Let's go ahead and dive into the rules for Astro Chat Live. Like I said, I'm Jessica Alexandria. I'm practicing witch, astrologer, intuitive, tarot reader. I come on here every week. The rules for Astro Chat Live are as follows. YouTube does not like when we say fuck, shit, bitch, all those other things. But I do. It to me, it's all about making sure that the third chakra is open, and I also have a very foul mouth. If that is not something that vibes with you, this is not your time. Um, I really encourage people to curse and be open and expressive. I am. I'm not going to hold back. However, if you are offended by those comments of what other people are saying or what I'm saying, again, this is not your time. Having said that, moving on to the comments, you guys. Anytime I go live, it's a person of love and light going live. So basically, what this does is it attracts people of high vibration. But anytime when you see light, there's always going to be the shadow, and it could also attract some lower energies that are drawn to trying to gain attention or disrupt or dismantle or bring chaos or negative energies. That's all well and good until it starts to impact why you're here. So there will ever once in a while we have a few trolls that come through and they say some stupid things to try and market or sell or draw attention to. We only have 1 hour, one fucking hour to work with. And if you allow them to take away from our time, you cannot work with these energies. And I cannot guarantee how your week is going to unfold. If you allow yourself to focus on me and focus on what we're saying here and allow yourself to receive this and absorb this, then you're going to gain the most from Astro Chat Live, which is what it's here for. This is a free time for me to just come in and give you guys the 411, everything that you're going to need in order to successfully navigate through this time on earth that you have here on earth, to be successful, to discover your purpose, to heal yourself, to maximize the time and the intimacy within your relationships or whatever else that your goal is. This is what this time is for. But I cannot help you if you are going to be distracted by the comments that are pushing through, especially if there's trolls. Me personally, I don't mind a troll moment. It helps the algorithm. I don't give a fuck. Bad press like that is not bad for me. It is what it is. I have the ability to stay focused. I can tune anything out for the most part. But can you? Can you? Having said that, I really highly recommend that you have a notepad and a pen if you want to take notes during this. However, I've learned throughout the years that many of you guys use this time to connect with me, to connect with the Bahati Vibe Tribe, and to receive. This is like your time, and it's like sitting down with your friend, put your phone off to the side or whatever, and we're just connecting and we're vibing. I totally feel that. If that's more your prerogative where you just want to vibe with me, I'm with you. Um, I will leave the live up as I always do every week, and you'll be able to take notes and catch up as needed. For example, last week's live is up for you, and you can go ahead and recount if you need to or recap as you need to. There's a lot of gems that I leave in there. What am I missing? Oh, super chats. I love super chats. Basically, it's kind of like where you leave a tip or it helps draw my attention to your specific question by you kind of ultimately kind of like paying for it, I guess. If you're going to do a super chat, regardless of the amount, I'm great. I'm so grateful for whatever that you contribute. I just wanted to make sure that if you have an expectation that your question gets answered with your super chat, that you make sure that that super chat, or you make sure that the question is something that can be answered by the collective. Having said that, I'm not doing personal readings right now, but I am doing daily polls. And that's just my way of being able to reach as many people as I can without completely shutting myself down, to put it mildly. Okay. I also have daily polls at bahatilife.com where we shuffle the cards. I didn't want to do one today yet, but I'm going to do it after this live. All right. If you guys, we have about 578 people here right now, which is a little low, but I'm okay with it. We have about 500 people here so far, and 250 likes. So if some of these people who are watching this right now, if you can go ahead and hit the thumbs up button, it's literally free. And it really shows me that you appreciate the fact that I'm here talking to you right now. If not, then honestly, you're a fucking hater. Thank you guys. Yeah, I just jumped up to 300. I really appreciate that. All right, let me catch up on one of these super chats. Okay, Jennifer says 1999, and I love that orange because it's giving me turmeric vibes. Says, Jess, your justice candle was amazing. The medical examiner reopened my mom's case. Finally, justice for Carol Smith. Thank you, Jess. I'm Capricorn Sun and Cancer Rising. Yes, my love. I love to hear that. Yo, justice has been a theme. It has been a theme. It's been showing up left and right. It's such an honor, and I'm glad to hear that your mom was able to get justice from, her, for herself and her situation. That is everything to me. Things have been so off balance for so long, and the people who need justice the most are the ones who typically have to fight the hardest for it. And I just think that that's so unjustified. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and dive in. I'm going to push my screen off to the side and pull my astrology chart here on the left. If you see me looking away from you, it's not because this is just my good side. It's not that. It's because the astrological chart is on the left side for me on my screen, and I'm going to catch up with the comments as I go along. Also, moderators, thank you guys so much for doing your work, or doing your service. I don't know what to call it work, but doing your service. Okay, first things first. Oh, I need my notes here. First things first, last week, I'm going to start off with last week. It was such a fucking doozy, pardon my French. Such a doozy. Why? Well, because Mercury, the planet of communication, was directly opposing Mars. Mars is currently retrograde. What does this mean? This means that our actions or information that we're trying to take in order to better implement our game plan and our goals, it just feels like it's hitting your head against the wall. I don't know if this is a conversation that you're having with someone specifically or information that's coming to you, but last week it's like a battle. It's like a battleground. I really want you guys, and I said this to you last week, to be really careful about communication. Not only is it the things that you say, but it's also what you hear. You cannot, from the way that the astrological charts are set up, you cannot take anything serious until you see it in black and white right in front of your face. Why is this? Venus is square Neptune right now. Neptune is a planet of fucking illusion. Neptune only just recently turned direct after being retrograde. Even though Neptune, the planet of illusion, is turning direct, this happened December 3rd. The truth is that this creates a whole veil all over everything that we look at, everything that we're seeing, and what we think that we're seeing, what we think that we're hearing may not necessarily be the truth or the case. That's not to say that the person who is saying this or what you're saying is malicious or trying to hurt you or harm you in any way. It's just the fact that Neptune is sinking its teeth into our reality, into our ability to perceive and see things for what they are. And for that reason, we can't trust what we're seeing and hearing. If you take what you hear and see and make a decision based upon that, chances are you're going to fucking regret it, because you're going to look at that and just be like, damn, hindsight is 2020. If you can use that quote in order to comfort yourself and hug yourself in those moments when you lost out on something. But the truth is that there's some mistakes or some things that could be avoided. Last week, I told you guys that there's no such thing as making a mistake. I don't believe that there's a thing as making a mistake, but there's some things that can be avoided. And if you can prevent that from happening, I'm here to help you with that. And that's exactly what I feel called to do. So with this, I want you guys to check, double check, triple check, quadruple check what you're hearing, saying, speaking, listening to, whatever the case. When it comes to plans, plans start to fall apart. Plans are a little wobbly and wonkadocious, is what I'm going to call it. Um, it's just again Neptune's energy here. Mercury, the planet that rules again not only our communication, but it's our ability to process information. It's what we're hearing and our ability to rapid fire or very slowly process that information and put it where it belongs. Mercury is squaring off with Neptune, the planet of illusion. What is a square? It's those two energies not working together. This is something that you say or something that you hear that either is just not accurate. It's not accurate. You don't want to make permanent decisions based upon temporary information, temporary feelings, being under the influence, anything like that. It's not. It's going to create it's like talking to someone with a mask on and falling in love with their mask. That's not who they are. That's not what it is. Take that mask on the person and apply it to a situation, apply it to your health, apply it to the clutter in your house. I guess I'm speaking for myself now at this point. It's just it's not what it seems to be. It's not you want to fact check. You want to fact check and ask for details. The other thing too is if you're on under the influence of drugs, if you're taking prescription drugs, anything like this, especially towards the full moon. I like to keep it 100 with you guys. I do not judge here. I don't give a fuck what you partake in. I want you to make healthy choices. I want you to make choices that empower you. At the end of the day, you're going to know that better than anyone else what works for you and what doesn't work for you. If you partake in drugs and alcohol this week, nearing the Gemini full moon, mark my words, you got to be careful because what would normally get you high, and this is for people who do drugs or drink, what would normally get you high or make you feel good, or if you're taking medication, if you're not careful or if you forget, it can mix up with certain things and create a recipe for disaster with that around the full moon. This is something that is already happening that started last week. We're going to start feeling it closer to the full moon. I'm like I said, I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to tell you hugs, not drugs, or marijuana is the gateway drug to cocaine or heroin or whatever the fuck you guys parked. I don't care. I'm just keeping it real with you 100%. I don't, it is what it is. Be very careful and mindful about overdoses, even if it's not necessarily recreational drugs or prescription drugs or alcohol. It can even happen with like cold medicine, um, just I don't know, guys. Fill in the blank. I don't know. I'm not a person who takes medication very often. It takes me a lot. Like I'd have to be in a lot of pain to take ibuprofen or Tylenol for a headache. But just be careful that if you do normally take something, or if you feel called to take something, just be really, really careful and cautious about what is going within your body. Sometimes it's not necessarily medication or drugs. Sometimes it could be vitamins or how things are interacting as far as chemicals within the body. I'm telling you, last week is a trigger for it. This week, around the full moon, again, it's going to just kind of light things up. I am going to intentionally not give you guys a specific date on this because I repeat, I do not want you to be like, oh, this is the day that it can happen. So on this day, I'm going to be extra careful. This energy, listen, guys, we're working with energy, not definitives when it comes to days and times, right? So if the energy is happening on a specific day, the truth is that that energy doesn't dissipate the next day, 24 hours after you woke up. It bleeds into the rest of the week. And I would be doing you a disservice if I just told you that it clicks on and off like a fucking light bulb because I was tired of talking about it, or because when it happened, I moved on and it wasn't exciting enough for me to talk about it. I want you guys to look out for your children. I want you to look out for your neighbors. I want you to look out for yourself, your parents. Um, these are all anybody who's vulnerable right now, just look out for them and just let them know, listen, um, don't I it's coming from a space of love, and I can just see there's always a spike in things like this. There's always a spike when we have transits like this. And if it can be avoided, then let's avoid it point blank. And then 2 weeks from now, then you can go back to doing whatever the fuck you get into. Um, you know, so it is what it is. To each their own. I trust you guys. I trust your judgment and I trust how you take care of yourself because I hope that you love yourself enough to make good decisions, okay? And that you look for um, the if there's any type of help or anything like that that you need this support that you want to find the support that you need to have if that's the case. Having said that, guys, let's go ahead and talk about mental let's go ahead and talk about, speaking of drugs, let's talk about mental, emotional, spiritual, psychological well-being. This is one of those weeks that for those that are actually really interested in self-care and self-healing, philosophy, psychology, and spiritual sciences and spiritual studies, this week is going to be great for that. You could have major, major breakthroughs when it comes to, for those of you guys that are invested in therapy, or finding a therapist. If this is something that you really need right now, this is the time to tap into that, or to book those sessions, or really hyper focus on that. What happened, what comes up for you last week and this week can really heal. Like it's like uh what would normally be a trickle comes in like an ocean. Sometimes it can be immediately emotionally overwhelming in the moment, but ultimately it ends up freeing you in a really, really deep way. I will say that Neptune is such a blessing when it comes to finding the spot to heal it and to nurture it and to bring it to light. That it in my from my when it comes to psychological, subconscious, intuitive, vibrational type of situations, Neptune shines in those areas. And I think that this is some way that this energy can show up really, really supreme. Excellent. Absolutely excellent. Okay. Let me just kind of check into these comments really quickly. Sweet Trippy says, deeply freeing realization. You're spot on, Jess. Yes, good. Love that. I love that. I love when you guys love that. Okay, Monique says, yes, a huge part of what I meant by identity and decisions. Okay, spiritual life, emotional, etc. We'll definitely be digging deeper. Yes. Um, like I said, you guys, I want you guys to see that in our society, just really quickly, in our society, sometimes we're so apt to want to look for comfort and want to be comfortable at all times that as soon as we start to experience any level of discomfort, or our ego gets stripped away, or we're emotional, or we're sensitive, or we're triggered in any way, we can look at that and be like, oh no, hide that, hide that. That's where the problem is. Don't let it be seen. And the truth is that that trigger point shows you where the wound is. Can you use that moment to look beyond your 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 reaction to what you heard, to understand why, where there might be truth there, not only within you but within someone else, where you might be able to lift your perspective and your heart and love to a higher vibration so that you can charge past your bruised ego to be able to understand, hear, and have a change of perspective, and ultimately a change in your entire life, and have a breakthrough in your relationships and your healing. All of those things are interconnected and interwoven if you're open to it. However, there's many people, please excuse me while I adjust my wig. There's many people who do not have the emotional, mental, spiritual capacity to adjust, to change, to pivot during such eye-opening moments. To each their own. Oh, look at that. 444 comments, or 444 thumbs ups. Okay. It is what it is. And if you're dealing with someone who is spiritually, emotionally, physically, mentally stunted, you get to choose. I just made a post about this. You get to choose how far you get involved. I'm choosing my words always. You get to choose the how far you allow this relationship to go and to grow. It takes two. This is all relationships, by the way, not just romantic relationships. Um, there has to be two parties wanting a healthy, happy, nurturing, supportive environment to thrive in. And if not, it can't be one person who's doing all of the work and one person running away from it, or one person adding, like, if you think about it, and this is the last thing I'll say on this. If you think about it, let's say you have the what you're building is a garden, and you have one person who's doing the emotional labor and the spiritual and mental. They're trying so hard to grow up. They're trying so hard to evolve. They're trying so hard to work with these energies to, again, have the death of the ego and move from a space of higher love, not only for the relationship, not only for the other person, but also for themselves and for their future. And if you have one person who is toiling and doing that backbreaking work, and then you have another person who's cracking rocks or cracking cement, and the work that they're doing or what they feel like is work is adding to more chaos to the equation, but they can't see that that's what they're doing and they're hurting themselves in that process, you have to be the person that says, listen, I hear you, what you're saying, and no matter how much help we get, no matter how much advice, you refuse to hear so many different people telling you that this is a problem. I would love to see this garden grow, but I can't be the only one who sees the problem here. I can't be the only one who's addressing the problem, and I can't be attacked when I address the problem. I can definitely talk about that, in my own thing. So I just want to say that it's got to be whatever is being built here, it has to be harmonious, it has to be healthy. I mean, you choose, but it should be something that's healthy. Um, so if not, then Sun trine Chiron here. Chiron is retrograde, right? So when Chiron is moving through the sign of Aries, which it is right now, Chiron is the wounded healer. So this is where every single one of us says, my way is the best way, or every single one of us says, I can do this by myself. I am independent. I don't need anyone. I can't take into consideration anybody else. When Chiron is direct, that's good to approach it from that way. But I've been saying this for a long time that as human beings, we have to have relations. Like we have to have relationships. Like we have to kind of rely on other people, just because we're social beings. So now that Chiron is retrograde, in the sign of Aries, we have to kind of look at ourselves and ask ourselves, okay, is it so much of I'm going to force my will and force my way without the consideration of how I might make other people feel? And there comes a point when it becomes irresponsible in and traumatizing, and it only being what's in your best interest and what works for you, because it's not just you. I also want to talk to you guys about the fact that Saturn is currently in the sign of Aquarius and squaring off with the vertex point, which falls in the sign of Scorpio. Scorpio, the vertex point is fated encounters, but it's also fated moments that bring us to really move past certain lessons that stop us from being able to intimately connect with others, intimately connect with ourselves, an aspect of ourselves that we just cannot let go of. When the vertex point is sitting here directly being opposed by Uranus, the planet that's been disrupting everything in the sign of Taurus. This is a way this is what I know. This is what we're stubborn in. This is what I know myself to be. This is how I know this to be. This is what's important to me. This is what's valuable. None of us can really say that right now, because what is important to us is rapidly changing. We think we know, but it's being torn down. Or if you do know, it's because you've lost everything. So when this and literally, why loss? Because Scorpio connects to the idea of death, regeneration, rebirth, and everything being wiped out, everything being taken, things that it is that you think are that you it almost even becomes life or death, where you think that this is the most important thing to you, and then you realize that your health, your happiness, your peace of mind, and your people, their peace of mind becomes utmost. You can fill in, or maybe you've learned that this entire time you're filling those voids, those holes, or those that space that you're just like, I can't allow anyone close to me, or this is as far as intimacy that I'll allow another human being to get to me. You might be using things and stuff, or money, or work, or rebellion, or stubbornness to keep people away from you, i.e., people who are like, have a boundary and they have the walls, and they're just like, the wall just keeps getting higher and higher to the point where no one can get in and you're locked in. These are just things that it's like, these are things that are being confronted right now. Okay? So, I'm going to continue moving forward, but I just want to say that again, I really want you guys to be really aware of communication, what people are saying, the death of the ego, psychological, spiritual, emotional, mental healing and growth, and constantly having to like reassess. And it is emotionally exhausting, but it's so worth it. And if it makes you feel any better, we're all in it right now. We're literally all in this right now. Okay. Um, I am Carol Graham says, work your hair, Jess. Pretty. Thank you, love. Ajada Brown says, or Hada Brown, how do we work with the Scorpio energy? I feel so defeated. Basically, how do you work with Scorpio energy is, at least with these transits, is you allow yourself to be defeated. I'm going to say that again. How do you work with Scorpio energy is you allow yourself to be defeated. What does this mean? This means that everything that you know about yourself, everything you know about the world, everything you may know about society and what may be normal, everything you know about money, everything you know about how, like, your purpose, those are things that are being actively pulled or extracted and stripped away from you. You don't fight that. How do you work with Scorpio energy? You let go. You literally let go of it. You feel your pain. And that is the most scary, groundbreaking, transformative, spiritually awakening thing that you could ever do. It is absolutely 100% defeating. It's deafening how defeating it is. But this is how spiritual beings, they ascend, by completely surrendering and completely letting it go. This means that if there's friendships and there's family or money or life savings or people, things that you may, again, it's like things that you would never think that you could ever let go of, things that you would never want to let go of. It serves a purpose, and sometimes that purpose is a higher level of understanding on why you're here and what you should be doing with this time here on earth and what happens when you pass from this earth. Why? Because Scorpio also connects with the idea of death and sometimes our most deep, intimate, like, fears, the things that we feel, our fears that may actually control and manipulate us from being able to level up and embody who we actually are and why we're here. I hope that that makes sense. Jenny says, I needed to hear this. It's been rough. I believe you. I 100% believe you. I want to tell you guys again that at the start of this live, I was saying that our society always looks for a way out of discomfort. We find everything in our power to move away from discomfort, and to some degree that's great, and to some degree it's excellent, and some degrees it's good to have that as a goal to make sure that you're happy and that everything is working smoothly. But the truth is that here on earth we're living beings, and Divine chaos is a must. Chaos can be avoided, but divine chaos is a must. And that means that we are when life gets uprooted and if life gets weird and we're challenged by certain things, whether it's temporary or for a long time, it really is a part it really is you being aligned and synchronistically like leveling not leveling up, but like ascension in a lot of ways. In fact, you guys, I wanted to share with you actually one of the things that I wrote down. I cannot believe that it's 45 minutes, man. Time flies. Tina says, it has taken 50 years to find peace, and letting go. Change is our only constant. When we hold on, pieces of us break off. We must flow. And a part of us, you have to understand why parts of you are breaking off. You have to understand why parts of you are breaking off. You have to understand that sometimes the foundation of how we built ourselves to be is not the truth of who we are. We have to understand that sometimes the relationships that we hold on to are illusions of things that are unhealed within ourselves, and there's a reason why it has to let go, or why we have to let go of it. At the end of the day, we want to hold on to the divine, and we want to hold on to a higher level of like perspective that helps you to see that. And when you're able to see it, it helps you to go through it because you have an understanding of why it's happening to begin with, and it strips you of any fear. Or if you do have fear, your courage is going to push you past that fear. But what are you telling yourself in your head? What are you telling yourself in your mind? What do you actively believe about the situation? What do you actively believe about yourself? And what can you do with it? Like, what are you going to choose to do with that? That's what's being stripped away right now. The ground that's underneath us is not going to be solid in order for you to be like the ground beneath you doesn't have to be solid in order for you to be safe. And sometimes we look for that, like what the ground looks like, or we look for signs that this is what the ground is, and then all of a sudden we believe that we're safe when in reality safety wasn't a fucking illusion. So ultimately it goes back to the same thing where you have to let go. That's how you deal with Scorpio energy. Beverly says, yes, my brother is stubborn as fuck. Is your brother a Taurus or a Capricorn or a Virgo? So pretty much just earth signs. Destiny says, when you winterize a succulent, it will sometimes lose pieces of itself. Sometimes those pieces branch off and become their own plant to grow. But if they didn't fall, both the petal and the plant would die. Sometimes you have to winterize yourself. It's true. I want to also tell you that I don't remember where I posted this, but pretty much we human beings are very, I just actually posted this on my Instagram. Human beings are very, very resilient. Um, and that resilience sometimes shows up in our persistence in holding on to certain things, and also what we go through. I wanted to, at the start of this, before I even did this live, I wanted to talk to you guys and say that, or one of the main messages that I wanted you guys to walk away with is that sometimes we really have to go with the cycles of life. I literally wrote this down. Oops, I don't know if you guys can see it. Go with the cycles of life. You can't see that. Go with the cycles of life. Sometimes as a human being on earth, like I'll say this, let your resilience be what you allow yourself to go through and what you're growing through, and don't have your resilience show up for you in the fact that you will not allow yourself to let go of things that the divine, that spirit is bravely telling you to let go of and wisely telling you to let go of. Human beings are very, very, very resilient beings. Everything in our body is wired for survival. Let that be a blessing to you and not a curse. You can ascend, you can take yourself to the next level of ascension in your experience here on earth by understanding and becoming wise in your understanding of when it's time to let go and when it's time to hold on. You are innately a very resilient creature, but because that's how your body was wired, it can go through a lot of things and bounce back and grow back. But spiritually, more importantly, spiritually, you are divinely aligned if you choose and allow yourself to be. So allow yourself to every day connect with the divine, to gain inspiration and clarity into where that resilience needs to go, where you can sink your teeth in, and where it's very important for you to let go of, and have the courage and the faith to let go over and over and over and over again. It always gets rewarded. Train yourself to make your foundation your faith in what can happen, and not only what you see and what you logically can understand something to be. This is literally where miracles and magic happens. The only reason why we call things magical or miracles is because we cannot logically understand how the fuck this has occurred. But just because we don't understand how this happened doesn't mean that there isn't some type of divine alignment in all of the chaos that's happening around us. You don't need to understand how it's all going to fall together in order for it to all work out. Let go. It's crazy that our conversation brought us to that, because that's literally the message that I wanted to come in here and share with you guys. Okay. Destiny says, whew. Leah Love says, Jess, you're speaking to my soul right now. Jasmine says, the message I needed to hear. Yes. Back to astrology, you guys. Uranus transiting through the sign of Taurus is tough. This is literally, Taurus is Terra. It's the earth, it's the ground. This is not just actual, this is a metaphorical, although we'll see this in earthquakes, tsunamis, plates shifting and changing. That's just going to be the case. We're going to also take that metaphor and apply it to what's safe for us and our foundation, our businesses, our home, our real estate, land. Those things are shifting and changing as well. Take that and apply it into, okay, if I wear this, then I'm safe when I show up wearing clothes or this type of stuff. These are things that are rapidly getting shifted and pulled out from underneath us. Why? And what do? You don't hold on when a lightning bolt strikes you. You let go of it. You hold on to something that a lightning bolt struck and you're going to get electrocuted. So the best thing to do is to let go and allow yourself to be fucking enlightened by the strike that happened itself. So basically, I just really want to encourage you guys to kind of like tap into those energies of being open to your perspective shifting and changing. The full moon specifically, I'm going to have a whole video about that later on tonight. Maybe we'll see what happens. I'm hoping, fingers crossed. But the full moon in Gemini is going to bring in a lightning bolt when it comes to information. Gemini naturally rules information. Things are going to definitely shift and change. I really want to tell you guys that Sun opposing Mars. Mars currently still retrograde in the sign of Gemini. It's going to be such a fucking doozy. Like, it just really is. Sorry. Jeanette says, how would you recommend letting go of someone in a relationship if they're depressed? I mean, this is going to sound a bit cold, right? So, but also compassion looks different. And I'm coming from a space of someone who has experienced depression. Um, I will say this, as someone who's battled really bad, severe depression way back in the day, and I don't want to say healed 100% in the name of Jesus. I'm not going to say that because there's things that I do every day to make sure that I don't slip back into severe depression. One of the best things that happened for me is the people that walked away from me and the people that didn't have the tools and the resources to help me through my depression actually allowed me to flow into alignment with the people and the things and the resources that would be able to give me the medicine that I needed to help myself. Um, Also, the release of people who loved me the most walking away from this situation and having their hands kind of like, I have to walk away, was a relief for me as the depressed person because I instinctively knew that my depression was and the disappointment that no one could fix me and heal me or make me happy because they were doing all these outside things and it was an internal problem was such a relief again and a pressure released off of me so that I could just be. I know it wasn't the best. Like, no one wants to be depressed. If you know depression, it's one of the fucking worst things. And if you know depression for your life, you wouldn't wish it on your worst enemy. There's people who say that they're depressed. In reality, they're just having a bad year or a bad, moments or they're mourning. But actual depression, medical depression fucking sucks. And it's not something that goes away. So, how do you let go? And how do you justify walking away from a depressed person, or walking away from a relationship? You'd be surprised how loosening yourself up from something that is kind of anchoring you and holding you in one place is good for both people, but pray about it. Give it to the divine and ask for the divine, for angels and guides to show up and provide help, because prayer does make a huge difference. And I ask for a lot of space even now in my life from people who are not healthy, but I will receive their prayers. Yeah. So I just think that you would be surprised. Also, depressed people, you would be surprised. This is going to trigger alert. Um, we are emotionally, I mean, I don't feel depressed now, but it's in my back, it's in my history, and it's something that again I do things every day to make sure that every day, small things and big things, every day to make sure that I'm good and I'm solid. One of the main things is making sure that I have healthy balance. But having said that, you'd be surprised how emotionally resilient we are. Even though we feel really weak, it's the showing up. I know people say like sometimes it takes all you have to get out of bed. It takes all that you have in order to eat, um, brush your teeth, go for a walk. Sometimes just open your eyes. Like, don't get me started. But we are a resilient bunch, and the universe, the divine stays even closer to those who are suffering or are in pain. The divine holds everyone close, but the divine is very, very compassionate to those who are suffering. And even though we can't see the healing, it's there. And if you don't know that, I speak over anybody who's suffering with depression right now, that they see it and that be the beacon that carries them back into the light, because it can fucking happen. It can literally happen. And if you don't believe me, look at me. I'm a testament to it. Okay, 555 on the thumbs ups. Thank you guys. Literally, I love you guys so much. Okay. Yeah, back to astrology. Sun opposing Mars retrograde, man. It's gonna be tough. That's gonna be December 8th, but we're gonna be feeling this all this week. Um, fuck. Venus square Jupiter too. That's gonna be happening on the 9th. It's just gonna be it's okay. How about this? Because I'm gonna leave this on a positive note. How do you work with these energies? If I were you, I would fall back. I would fall back. I would do a whole lot more listening than actively participating if you can help it. I've never been a fan of when the sun starts opposing Mars, especially under the light and the intensity and the emotions of the full moon. Ego is insane. Mercury square Jupiter, you're not going to be able to say the right thing. What's the best thing to come out of this? Fall back and listen, and you will learn a whole lot. Do not take anything personally. It's most of it is going to be emotions. Most of it's going to be meltdowns, and it's not that you need to protect yourself and hold yourself up. It's the fact that you know that you're beyond the chaos, you're beyond the confusion, you're beyond the miscommunication, you're beyond the trauma, you're beyond that moment, and that this is temporary, it's short lived, it's not going to last, and it will help you to get all the information that you need in your little notebook for life on, okay, this is what I need to do. Career is going to bring in really interesting information. Um, Relationships are going to be huge. Um, Mental fogginess, but you can also channel this energy and go to the gym, work it out, go for walks, get out of the mind into the body. Also, you can use this again to have major breakthroughs when it comes to your own spiritual healing and where your triggers come from. And like, it's like when someone says something to you and you're like, you're evolved, but someone says something specific and you're unhinged, like you're like, "Zzz," like it's like the record scratches. You're like, okay, just the fact that there was a record scratch, it shows you, okay, this is where the problem is. And when you can find the problem, then you can breathe light into it and then you can find a solution ultimately. But just don't expect a solution overnight, not this week. This is a week for finding the problems and watching and observing and taking it in from a distance. If you can help it. Big time on slowing down, big time on not accepting bullshit. I'm not saying that, but just being like, you know what? Thank you for telling me that. That is definitely valuable information. And I'm gonna go ahead and head out. Meanwhile, the person's like, I just called her a bitch. I just said that her work is trash. I just said that I don't want to work with her anymore. Or it's just like, all right, cool. Like, I'm gonna take that. And then I heard everything that is that you said. And next week, I'm gonna talk, we can catch up on this, or then we can get the divorce paper signed, or we can scratch that, or we can start looking for information. You said your piece. I said my piece. I heard your frustration and your aggression. I hear that you don't fucking like me over there. Noted. Got it. Got it. You don't have to be like, what do you mean you don't like me? Because I prove you don't have to get involved in that. That's you not accepting the situation and being like, oh, they don't like me. So now I have to just accept the fact they don't like me and accept our relationship or just go with the flow. No, I accept what you just fucking said. I don't agree with you. And I will respond to this when I have come to a conclusion, but right now I haven't. But thank you for letting me know that you don't fuck with me no more. I'm going to lunch. I got lunch plans. I gotta go brush my blue wig. Okay. Gracie says, true, I'll get back to you. Or not. I mean, you don't have, that's also a part of accepting it. It's just like, I heard what you said. I accept that that is your truth because you said that that's your fucking truth. And I mean, all right. Okay. What do you want me to do? I don't care. Like, I have to say, I'm really proud, and I don't want to jinx myself, but I'm very, very proud of myself for getting to that place in my own life where someone could be raging and just going off, and I'm just like, well, there it is. It just shows me everything about that person. It shows me everything about their maturity. It shows me everything about their capacity, what they're able to hold, what they're able to do, how they think, what they're feeling. It tells me everything. And then I just am like, all right, cool. I've got all I need. And now I'm going to lunch. No hard feelings, no bad vibes, all love. But I'm also out. All right, guys, I fuck with you so hard. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. And once again, you guys are fucking amazing. Jules says, "What is for lunch?" You tell me. Where are we going? You tell me. I am so down for whatever. I love lunch. I love lunch. I had a really good lunch earlier today, guys. It was so good. It's on my Instagram, my personal Instagram, if you want to see. It reminds me, oh my God. It reminds me of Costa Rica, which brings me to my next point. There is a Costa Rican trip. There's 3 spots left last time I checked before I went live. Ooh, Joel says, I want garlic bread low key. Now I want garlic bread high key. Ugh. Browser's flower says lunch is gold. Lunch is life. Okay. There's a damn, everybody's starting to okay. Costa Rica, there's 3 spots left for the Costa Rica trip. I believe it's June 13th or the 15th of next year. Excuse me. Early bird pricing. Fucking amazing. It's Divine Feminine Retreat. The last Costa Rican trip was absolutely phenomenal. The girls are absolutely amazing. Everybody who showed up on that trip served a major purpose. And I believe that that will happen 1000% once again. It's one thing to get a bunch of people, it's one thing to work your magic and to manifest the right group. It's another thing to bring that group or have that group and you come to a really magical location. Costa Rica is 100% like Costa Rica is so good for healing. It is so good for healing. It is so good for a reset. It's so good. There are payment plans for those of you guys that want to go. It's everything is included. Most of your meals are included. The only thing that's I'll say this, the only thing that's not included is the flight, but we're going to be doing activities together, tarot, ritual, like there's a full moon, horseback riding on the waterfall, hot springs, like a natural hot spring spa. We're going to the volcano where we're going to be setting the intention for divine feminine rage and anger, along with nurturing and supporting. We are going to be immersing ourselves in all the aspects of divine feminine energy. And each aspect of the journey, I'm going to set an intention and tell you what the intention is and what the moment is. And there's going to be so much to gain from it. There was not one person, well, maybe there was one person, but that's another. There's not one person in the last trip that wasn't changed from what I've heard for forever, for the rest of their life, myself included. It was everything. It served way beyond. So it's going to be worth the money. Deepika says, just when is Nola and Morocco going to be announced? That can only happen once all of the spots, early bird spots, are confirmed for Costa Rica. So if you're waiting for the trip to Morocco, which is going to be very adventuring if it even happens, but that's not going to be until the last part of that year, then I just wouldn't hold out for that. Costa Rica is the first one, and that one's the one that's most guaranteed that I'm just like, this is going to be absolutely amazing. Morocco will come second, and New Orleans will be not next 2023, I don't think, but maybe 2024. But yeah, Costa Rica is going to be where it's at. New Orleans is not going to be a retreat. New Orleans is going to be more of an experience. Morocco is going to be more of an experience. Costa Rica is 1000% a retreat, a reset. Just complete energetic, spiritual, emotional reset. It's just the way that it is going to be. Jordan says, how do you find the spots? Let me see if I can. Oh, my phone has died. Oh, no, it hasn't. Still alive, still kicking. Oh, my buddy John texted me. It is. Oh, look at that. Copy. It's right here. I've been having issues. There we go. Just commented it. Pin. This is where the information is at. Again, there's oh wait. Lovely. What am I missing? There's of the people who have confirmed or that have signed on already to join me. I actually see some faces. I don't want to say it out loud. people that I recognize, people that have been here with Sacred Circle and Astro Chat Live. So it's going to be amazing to just kind of meet you guys all in person. I'm not going to say you guys out loud for the sake of privacy. But yeah, let me see. What am I missing here? Itinerary. What do we have? Oh my God. Costa Rican food is so fucking good. It's so good. Food is amazing. Yeah, mineral garden spa, body exfoliation, massage of your choice, antioxidant mask, all of those things are included. There's a hot springs. It's at our hotel. We're literally staying in a hot spring in our hotel. So let's say you decide like horseback riding is not your thing. Girl, I will meet you at the springs. Trust and believe. It is fine. It is fine. Yeah, so the next thing is the horseback riding at this amazing waterfall. I saw the pictures. There's also the full moon. That same day that we go horseback riding, there's the full moon ritual. Brittany says, how long does it take to get a passport? Pretty quick. If you do it now, you're fine. You can literally get it in 6 weeks, but it didn't take me that long. It takes maximum 6 weeks right now. They're shooting passports out like my chickens shoot out eggs. For those of you guys that don't know, my chickens shoot out eggs. There's a day 5 is where we're just vibing. I love that we do that at the very end on day 5, because at that point we literally have all, for the most part, we've all connected. We're all vibing and we're just bonding over our friendships. That's what happened with Costa Rica. And like, we're still talking to the girls. I'm still talking to the girls from Costa Rica. I wish that I could talk a little bit more, but they literally are talking. There's girls here that were there on that trip. They can talk about it if they want, but it's been amazing. In fact, I want to, and we were just talking about this, we're going to, fingers crossed, but I can definitely, there's no way this is not going to happen. Do just a meetup and just keep showing up at some points, afterwards, not as a retreat, but just it's just so fucking good. Like it's good when you find people who are just awesome, and I don't know, it's like a someone's fucking soulmate. Tasha said, yeah, Tasha was there. She said must do. V says, will there be a wait list for Costa Rica? I don't think so. I don't know. It depends. D-Light Beam says, yo, the fruit in Costa Rica was so fucking good. Oh, it was so good. That fruit was so good. All right, guys, I gotta go. I'm hungry. Speaking of lunch, and I want to thank you so much for hanging out with me. And I also want to thank you for dealing with my poor posture. And Costa Rica trips are right there. And also, I'm gonna do today's daily pull. I do, for those of you guys that don't know, I do daily pulls every day. That's why it's called a daily pull, right? Sorry. Where I just fully channel and get that message up for you guys. So that's going to be happening next. Until then, I'll see you guys next week. I love you so much. Thank you for hanging out with me once again. And I hope that this message resonated with you and helped you in the way that it should and must. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.